rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
What do they? Oh, they don't have one yet. All right, so it's you two.
Oh.
Kill it. No, that's you. You're it. You the one, girl.
So now you get to.
Now you get to open.
Order.
She gets to open and pick the order.
Yep.
Woo. Welcome back to FourPeasInAPodcast. I'm country today, y'all. No, just kidding. We're gonna talk about conspiracy theories, and I'm going first.
Ooh.
Who's going next?
I get to pick the order.
Yeah,
you get
girl.
to pick the whole order.
Ooh, okay. I'm trying to remember.
I'm doing dinosaurs.
You're going.
Mike is doing dinosaurs.
You're
Caleb,
gonna let him do dinosaurs?
you know, I'll get to that in a second. You're doing New World Order,
New
and
World
I'm doing
Order.
Mandela Effect.
You, and you're last.
Okay,
And
so
what are you
Kayla,
doing?
Mike, me, Caleb.
Yep, I'm doing chemtrails, and everyone knows what chemtrails are. Do y'all know what chemtrails are?
I do,
You
but
will teach
Well,
us.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
So
first you got to pick an order. Who's
she
going
did.
after you?
She
did.
Mike, where were you? Were you in like an
Guess that's
alternate Mandela Effect? This is weird.
Whoa.
Whoa, where were you?
All right. So
That's
I'm
the New World
I'm
Order,
last.
Caleb.
Yes, you are.
I
last.
like going last.
This is the same order we went last time, isn't it?
I want to go last from now on. By the way, I like going last. It builds
I'm
up the
still kind
hype.
of freaked out that you you missed that whole thing. Sorry.
You're cool.
Now you gotta talk even
Where
louder.
you missed the whole thing where you didn't see
I
me
don't
pick the
know.
order. Like, where were you?
In another world.
Okay, so you ever see like those big, fat white trails behind jets? Okay, so like they do that anyway. I don't know what it's called when they naturally like go through the air.
Yeah, like
and
what the purpose or...
Yeah, they do that. It's like condensation or something from the wings, but there's a theory that it's like chemicals that are from the government
Yes, girl.
that are meant to like kill us or hurt us or something. And I don't know if I believe it or not, but when I see them, I think like, oh my gosh, that's them. Because you see really big ones, like normal jets will have like smaller ones. And these are huge. And they stay in the sky for a long time.
Now, is that just from the jets? Do they start off little and then just expand? Maybe that's what it is.
Well, I thought that, but if you look at a normal jet, it kind of like disappears after a while. So,
And you know, I believe in chemtrails.
Oh, I
and I
do
won't
too.
go too far so that you can get like into it, but I wouldn't be surprised because, I mean, like when they feed crops with planes and they drop all that stuff, like why couldn't they drop stuff any other time?
yeah.
See, I
In a
think
gas
it's real
form.
too.
So is this like because like it sounding like the way that it sounded, it's like it doesn't make sense. So is it like a gas that instantly kills people, or is it something that
No.
just
Yeah, I think it
slows
just
your
pollutes
body?
I don't know. I
like-
think we
and
should let her
pollutes?
explain it real quick.
Well, that's what I'm
Yeah.
asking.
I think it's like slowly killing us. Like if you believe in chemtrails, I think you would believe like it slowly kills us. I mean, like cancers, you know, everything causes cancer, but I feel like this is one of those things where it's just another thing to come in and like pollute our crops, pollute our air, and we don't know it because it's like we drive cars around all the time. We're polluting our air terribly. If you go back to before we ever had cars and stuff, the air was probably so much more fresh. And we think it's fresh now, but it's not. So it's in the air, we just don't even know it.
Right.
So I think that, you know, it's like slowly killing us or slowly polluting us, whatever they want to do. But some people say that it's weather management or weather,
Yeah.
what's the word?
Climate.
That's what
Climate-
global
Climate
warming.
control.
Climate control. There you go. And it said in 1946 they actually tried to control the climate with dry ice and silver iodide. I guess they like use these chemicals. they would put more condensation in the air to weaken storms and hurricanes. They would actually do that. And so just from practicing that, which I don't agree with, like, why, like, I know that hurricanes can damage, you know, and be really bad, but why would you do that? Like, why would you put chemicals in the air? So anyway, people think that's what it still is, but I don't think that's what it still is, because if it was, why would they not tell us that? I mean,
New World Order.
Just to play like devil's advocate or devil's aid
yeah.
to the opposite effect, because I do believe in chemtrails, but we go to Sun and Fun every year, and we're like on the emergency response team, so we're like very like active on the front line of like where the planes are taking off, or like right under where they're going when they do their performances, and they do it a lot, and it doesn't seem to like ever make us any more like, I mean, we're like right in it. I mean, like it's coming through our tent. I mean, the planes are like a football throw away from us, and I've never felt like I got any more sick or so. Like, my belief is, I think that not all of them do it, but I do think some of them for sure.
Yeah.
And that's just my personal, I mean, I haven't researched it a whole ton. I've heard of it, I've looked into it a little bit, but I definitely think that some of them have that ability and some of them don't, because there are like really small planes of people that are just starting out that make those trails too.
Right, and I don't know what kind of jets make the chemtrails in the sky, but you know, it could be like the government, who knows what they have.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to take, you know, it has to be the government. I mean, you're not going to have like some random jet owner pull up and be like, hey, I want to spread chemicals. I think it's the government. And if they were doing climate control, then I think they would just tell us that.
It's the Illuminati.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
The
Do we all
I
think...
believe there are people
Illuminati
more
is-
powerful, and we'll get back on point in a second, but I think there are people more powerful than our government that control much more than our government could ever choose to control.
Oh, yeah.
I think there are bigger powers that control our government people to make them make certain decisions.
Oh, yeah. So, like, you don't look like you're buying it. So, you don't believe that it's the government, you know, plotting against us.
No, it is.
Do you think that it's...
I don't know
Like,
who it is.
Do you
I
think
would put
that
it past,
whatever's doing it is trying to hurt us, though?
It's trying to do some sort of control. I don't know if it's trying to hurt us, if it's trying to limit us, if it's trying to break down more of our,
Yeah.
you know.
I think
think
me and
it's
her
doing
agree that
ill.
it's trying to hurt us.
I think it's doing ill.
Yeah.
Whether it's killing our plants or whatever, I don't think it's
It's
good.
killing the bee population. That's what it's doing.
That's not a joke. You better
I
knock
am
it off.
not joking about
You
it.
better
It's
knock
killing
it
the
off.
bee population.
Bees
I don't know. I'm
are
totally for
important.
chemtrail
Bees are in
theory.
the trap, and
Mm-hmm.
So you're not for it?
no.
Are
I
you?
just feel
Are
like-
you for it?
Yeah, I mean, if you just, next time you see a huge trail across the whole sky, that's not a normal jet.
I just feel like it's like, and it's
the whole
it's
sky.
not you.
Yo,
who
these
came
people are
up-
writing Jesus with chemtrails?
It's not you who's like came
You
up
ever
with
thought
the,
about that? Sorry.
But I feel like the
It
people
hit
who
me.
came up with this
They
idea.
use steam. It's okay.
I feel like the people who came up with this conspiracy
Jesus.
theory, and like people who are like die-hard believers in this conspiracy theory, are just people who.
You can't say people that came up with it, because it could be a real thing and you don't know. So
But I do see
People
his
that-
point.
It's
though.
kind of like,
Too.
I feel like it's a scapegoat, honestly.
Yeah.
Like
Somebody
for people who wear, I'm gonna offend somebody, but people who wear like the tinfoil aluminum hats and cover
and if you're
everything.
subscribed when you do that, we don't hate you.
It's just I feel like it's the government's trying to kill me.
Well,
I
see-
can't
Oh my
die.
gosh, every conspiracy theory is like that. So you can't just say because it's like that,
Well,
they're all disqualified.
but I
No,
see
not
what he's.
all of them, but it's just
I do see what he's saying though, because there'll be some people they'll just have a bad day. Like I've seen it. They'll have a bad day, and it's the government's fault.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or
So I
ISIS.
could see somebody have Teresa. I could see somebody just coming home from a bad day and seeing that in the sky and say, you know what?
Those
I bet that's
chemtrails-
his
No, but
those
for it
chemtrails
to
maybe
like
had a bad
become
day.
this popular, there's got to be some weight to it.
No, I mean,
some weight.
Well,
to
I
it.
think
It's
That there
it
is.
started with like they were actually doing like chemicals in the air.
yeah. I mean, it's
Like it
Well, yeah, the weather control,
proof,
that's
yeah.
that's legit. Like, I understand why they're trying to do that. It's dumb. they don't obviously understand the
I'd
butterfly
be
effect.
curious to look into like what that actually provides to the jet when it's in the air to release whatever that trail is.
But thinking that the
I don't know
government is
enough.
doing it to kill or
I didn't say the
harm
government. It could
or,
be ISIL, could be Illuminati.
or ISIS
It
or
could
Illuminati.
be. It could
I
be
don't
any
believe
number
it.
of things.
Yeah,
I don't buy into it.
I think it's real.
Sorry.
I'm for it.
I'm for it.
I mean, I got no reason to be against it.
I mean, no, I'm just saying, like,
So-
I just feel like it's escape.
I feel like
But,
Mike's
like,
got some
the-
weight in this somewhere because he's like, it's not real.
The
It
worst-
can't be
Promise
real.
you
The
that
worst thing is
especially the
like
one I open. You.
the worst thing is like whenever you're outside and you see them. Like I've had that thought before. I saw it and I was like,
Oh, I used to be really big into it
I
like
was
3 or 4
like,
years ago.
I can't escape. Like,
You're gonna have to breathe in whatever
like
it is.
whatever they're pouring on us. Like I'm
I mean,
stuck.
think about the length of life. The length of
Run
life
inside.
expectancies are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So we have no idea what that effect has on us.
What?
No, they're not.
Yes,
What?
they
What'd
are.
you? What'd you
Are
Life
you
just say?
kidding me?
expectancy is not
Really?
getting
Because in
so-
the Bible, a lot of people lived hundreds of years old.
Well, yeah. And then when
yeah,
people
but
were
I mean,
in the...
okay, I'm not talking about the last 100 years, a couple hundred years. I'm talking like long term. I'm just saying God's word is true, and
Right.
God said that people lived hundreds of years. Now we're living
Right, no, I
60,
agree with you with that.
50, 60, 70. So, I mean, if you want to
I think it's
combat
just,
that,
like,
go for it.
all
but
the
he's-
chemicals we eat anyway. Like we're killing ourselves and then they're trying to kill us too. So
Or kill the ozone or something. I don't
Yeah.
know what it is, climate. Stop. Just because you don't
It's
agree with
funny
somebody,
to
no, stop
me.
it. Just because you don't agree with somebody's conspiracy doesn't mean you have
I'm
the
not,
right to attack them.
I'm not attacking her.
No, but you're making jokes at us, and I don't appreciate it.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to make
You
you
don't
jokes.
Respect
just because
others'
you don't like it
opinions,
doesn't mean you have
Mike.
to hate it. I've always told you that.
I don't
Yeah.
hate it. I don't hate
Respect
it.
others' opinions.
I'm not.
Come on.
I'm not like, wow, all of you are stupid for believing this. I'm just saying I don't agree with it.
Yeah, but you're poking fun at us because of things.
it's
You're-
okay because I
you're not
I
doing
believe
it.
that dinosaurs are real. So
You're not doing it, but it's like you are passive aggressively.
Yeah, you're not being
sorry,
malicious,
guys.
but
No,
you're
it just
definitely
sounds
being
that way. I know you're
I'm
not.
sorry. I'm not.
No,
I'm
he's
really
definitely
not.
being passive aggressive.
No, I'm not. I'm just being like, I'm just joking. That's all I'm doing.
Anyways,
Sorry, podcast fam.
well, let's hear what
glad to be
you.
3Ps.
So the dinosaur
I have like
dinosaur.
a beard hair that's like way
Yeah.
out there.
Sorry,
You need
guys.
to trim it. It's getting too long. You need to go see Kyle.
I do. The dinosaur conspiracy theory. So at first, I just came up with this as like a joke. I was like, dude, dinosaurs aren't real. And
It's so aggravating when he says that.
I was like, dinosaurs aren't real.
Like,
They're not real.
aggravates
It's no
me.
big deal.
I really can't wait to
So
hear
I
his reasoning.
told
It gets
Allie.
pretty legit.
So listen, so
Like-
I told Allie on the way home. I was like, man, I'm doing dinos. I haven't had time to like sit down and like write anything out though. And she's like, does this have anything to do with sports?
No,
what is this?
no.
So
because
she
he
looks it up.
Hold on. He looked it up. Or he told me about it, and I got honestly ticked off. Like, I was annoyed.
His reasoning.
Like, he was like, dinosaurs aren't real. I'm doing that. And I'm like, is this even a real conspiracy theory, or is this some junk you made up? So I Google it, and like 9 out of 10 of the first links on Google were like CBS Sports, ABC Sports, Sports Chatter. And I'm like, this is some garbage that Steph Curry said on TV one time, and everybody's buying into it.
The Earth is flat.
So,
And that's what it was
that's
linked
what
to.
Yeah.
It is. It really is. That's what I saw in the links. So, which I also believe in. But
So she started reading one of the articles, and then she was like, oh, okay.
I was like, no. I said I'm interested to hear what you have to say because some of this stuff seemed pretty.
All right. So I got all my facts.
If the
from-
facts are true,
I got all my
you
facts.
don't have a way to
From
fact check.
Fox News.
They are facts.
I got all my facts.
Are they
from
facts?
www.atlantien. Whoa.
Whoa.
It's
Secret
Outcast?
message.
It's yeah, no, it's atlanteanconspiracy.com. And he's got where you can read it all, or you can click on the YouTube video that he has on there, and it basically just says 30 minutes of him talking about it.
Yeah, he's doing it for the YouTube ad money,
No, I'm not doing
AdSense
it.
money.
I'm not.
Okay.
Not
I-
you,
I
the
see.
guy. The guy's
the
like,
guy
this
is.
is gonna be highly viewed, and I'm gonna make millions off this one.
Yeah.
So
Smart.
first, the word dinosaur. Do you guys know when dinosaur, like the root word of dinosaur, actually came into existence?
I'm not gonna say because I wrote it.
Dynamite.
When dinosaurs were here.
The 19th century. So dinosaurs weren't even thought of,
Which
weren't
is
even
technically
talked
the
of.
1800s.
Which
They're
is
like,
the
get rid of them
1800s.
big lizards.
So, Dinosauria was defined in 1842. It was theoried by Richard Owen, and the first discovery was by Ferdinand Hayden in 1854 by the Upper Missouri River.
Wait, that's the first time we ever discovered any dinosaurs?
That's the first time that we've
anyone
ever
heard of it at all.
ever heard of a dinosaur. 1850
Found
or
it, named it,
1842,
said it.
and then saw it in 1854.
So
what
they
he
came
found,
up with the name before they ever found one?
So what they found were just teeth fragments. Wasn't even a skeleton, like a full body skeleton, wasn't a head. It was teeth fragments. And they were just like let's say this is like, I'm holding a pin for you guys, but let's say this is the tooth. This is all that they saw. So then they made a picture and an artist drew out the rest of the tooth. So there's your first dinosaur fossil.
Go on.
Dinosaurs are believed to be. Do you guys know what a dinosaur is?
An alligator.
No,
It's like a prehistoric reptile, isn't it?
something of like that. Do you know what it is?
Cold-blooded animal.
That's where you're wrong. It's not cold-blooded.
Size of
Really?
a quarter
Yes,
dog.
the dinosaur is warm-blooded, and dinosaurs are believed to be a hybrid of ancient reptile / bird / mammal. So it's a warm-blooded reptile that is a bird and a mammal.
Neither are reptiles.
Reptiles
They're
are not.
cold-blooded.
Reptiles are cold-blooded. Mammals are warm-blooded because we're all warm-blooded.
Okay,
And
so let me make sure I'm right, because I don't want anyone to point me out and make jokes at me. But can mammals lay eggs? Do mammals lay eggs? Does
No.
anybody know for a fact?
No, mammals don't lay eggs. Because dolphins are mammals and they don't lay
Well,
eggs.
birds lay eggs, and
Reptiles lay eggs.
but
Birds aren't a mammal.
But they're mammals. But
Bir-
dinosaurs are mammals.
But dinosaurs are mammals / bird / reptile.
What part of them is mammal? Not the egg.
Not the egg.
The
warm-bloodedness.
mindset.
No, the mindset
The
is
temperament,
supposedly.
probably.
So the mindset is supposedly reptile. Because they said that they have like a.
I feel like this came
Tyrannosaurus
from
Rex.
some scientists that thought of like fusing animals together and came up with this awesome idea of all these animals fused together and came up with birthed the idea of a dinosaur.
So
Personally, that's what I think.
finding fossils, right? It's a big deal, right? But why is it that no discoveries of fossils were made by Native Americans who lived and salvaged the land before the initial discovery, right? So like you got Native Americans out here just roaming around, killing buffalo, not stumbling upon any kind of, Tyrannosaurus Rex head or a Bronchiosaurus neck. So why is it also that no one besides people of interest, paleontologists, scientists, universities, other personnel, find fossils? Nobody else
They
finds
were
it.
saying that like regular farmers
Never by
or-
miners, farmers, hikers, or other civilians, unless they have been told to.
unless they have some sort of stake in finding a dinosaur.
Well, not only that,
That's
yeah,
the goal.
like someone's like, oh, hey, you should go dig over there. Like a scientist walks up to you and goes, hey, you should dig over there.
Sorry. Oh,
I
that's
think
right.
there's really something really, really big over there. You should check it out. You know how much a Tyrannosaurus Rex head went for like 6 years ago in an auction? $12 million for one skeleton. Just a head. Bruh.
And
No
there-
wonder
I
there's
have
so
heard
much money
in
about
just
it.
my knowledge life that there have been proof to find that a lot of people that were selling fossils were actually manufacturing
They were
them.
fake.
I
So,
have heard that before.
The finds are also often found on dino hunts, where an entire group of paleontologists or scientists or students go to an area, block off that dino land, and then they'll find. There was one that said they found 650 dinosaur eggs in one section of Peru or something like
Can an
that.
egg really be fossilized?
And it's like, why had nobody else found dinosaur? Like, come on. If a dinosaur egg is dug into the ground, it's not gonna. The shells are easily breakable. It's an egg. So, with that being said, only fossil fragments have ever been found. Not a full skeleton of a dinosaur has ever been found. And all the fossils in museums are just replicas created by artists. So if they're finding fragments of a bone, they're
so
like,
I
let's go
wonder
ahead
what
and...
percent of like skeletons you see of dinosaurs, what percent of it is actually something they found?
I can
Like 10%,
I can guarantee you that
5%, 3%. 85%.
85% of this, like the skeleton that's up there, is probably artist replicated.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not only that, but there's thousands of museums. There's not thousands of exact fossils of these exact dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? Another probably doesn't make sense. But
the
they haven't found thousands of T-Rex pieces.
The shape of them have always changed. So, like, for the Bronchiosaurus, for example, right? That's the one that has the long neck, the long tail, and the fat, chubby pig body, right? And it's the one that reaches up in the trees and eats.
They're really sweet ones.
Right. So they found a fossil of that, and the way that they had it is it was standing on its hind legs, and its tail was being used as a third leg, pretty much. Sorry, guys. A third leg. And then its neck was sitting up and like...
Third leg, though.
Sorry, guys. So, that doesn't make sense. The other one is, why like, long-necked animals don't make sense anyways, because there's only one, right?
Iffy.
It's a giraffe. But, you know why it's so hard for long-necked animals to stay alive? All the blood that has to go to the brain, the food that has to travel down, they could choke, all of that stuff takes into effect. So, regardless of that, then it comes into asteroids. That's where...
I just want to throw something out I just thought about.
Right.
If dinosaurs don't exist, that completely throws Caleb's Loch Ness story. Just saying.
Pretty much.
Now he's got a new stake in his argument.
So, the next thing, asteroids, right?
We'll talk about it.
So, if we say that an asteroid is what killed the dinosaurs...
I don't even know.
Right, I'm just saying. But if an asteroid hit the Earth, where's the crater big enough that hit the Earth and dismantled every dinosaur that was ever on the land? Every dinosaur, that literally means that every like living being on this planet died. Because
Not
of an
instantly.
I don't. Yeah, the asteroid caused the ice age, and that's where the dinosaurs died.
Supposedly,
so
there's
then-
no
no,
official-
that's
if
what it
they
was
died
supposed
from
to be.
ice age, then why
That's
did we
a
not find
theory.
any that are encapsulated in ice? And not only that,
I can't answer.
Oh,
And
I
not only
haven't
that,
found any
if
people in ice. Then
because who said that there was
But the weird
cavemen
thing
back
is
then
they're
when dinosaurs were
saying
there?
that humans didn't exist when dinosaurs. They came after.
So they're saying that it was dinosaurs, then ice age, then humans.
Oh, well, ice age tells a different story.
Right. It's not biblical.
I'm not gonna
It
be
makes-
that
I was gonna
weird
say it's
biblical person.
and religion. If you think about it, it says God
But
created.
he didn't
over
say
the
like
first-
on the third day he created.
Right, on the
dinosaurs.
7 days, God created everything, and then like it wasn't like on the 5th day he was like, all right, look, a day is a day,
Men came
and us, a day is a day. In God's time, a day is a day. A day is not 13,000 years go by after he's let a dinosaur roam the earth.
Well,
and
time is
goes,
relative, but we don't have to get into that.
right,
I'm just saying.
but it's just that's the religion part about it. If you believe in that, then
Didn't you say one of the websites you found was like
Someone's like-
ChristiansAgainstDinosaurs.com?
someone was like, we better stop this mayhem. Christians against
If you want to pledge
dinosaurs.com. I was
$20
like,
a month.
oh,
we
man.
just declared war on dinosaurs.
Like, don't get me wrong, I love dinosaurs. I love the whole fact of dinosaurs. I love the movies. I love the books. I love all of it.
You love the idea of dinosaurs.
Right. But thinking of it actually doesn't make sense. There's not an animal on here in Earth that is half reptilian, or a third reptilian, a third bird, and a third mammal. And not only that, but
Well, that on How I Met Your Mother, the cockamouse. Remember that?
Ava Bird.
Yeah, Ava Bird.
but the
Is that where Ava Bird came from?
No, I just
but
Kayla likes Ava.
for
Kayla likes
asteroids,
birds.
like for the asteroid part, if dinosaurs did exist, I guess this could be the only argument that I could see someone saying, which still wouldn't make sense, because none of then it would just be a theory. Dinosaurs wouldn't be real, it would just be a theory. But if dinosaurs were real, and the asteroids wiped them out, that would mean that if they died from the asteroid, they were disintegrated. Nothing was left.
That's
I'm just saying, like, an asteroid is like
objectable, but-
pure. It's coming from space. It's gonna pack some heat.
Yeah, And it would have caused a bunch of tidal waves and tsunamis and...
The whole Earth would have been like completely crazy. And they're saying that this caused the Ice Age, which is saying that it has to be big enough somewhere. There has to be a huge hole somewhere in the Earth.
Maybe it's the ocean.
So that's just my thing. Like I love the whole concept of dinosaurs.
I mean, I believe
But
that we've had other animals that have adapted to change just as humans adapt to change.
right, and this was
I
also
don't think that there's enough to say like there was a T-Rex or a Brachiosaurus or whatever.
and this was also the 1800s was also around the time of the evolution theory, where man came from ape. So then they were like, yo, you know what else is dope? Birds used to be dinosaurs. What's a dinosaur, Steve? Bruh, I don't even know, but listen to this.
Nobody was named Steve back then.
Do you know where?
Listen here, Raymond.
Gatlin.
Gatland.
Do you know where the first dinosaur was found?
The first fragment,
America.
like the tooth fragment, was found in the upper Mississippi River.
Wasn't it? Didn't when I read about it,
Well,
like
there's-
there was so many findings within like 4
It was-
years.
yeah,
It was
within-
a stupid amount. It
after-
wasn't like they found one and then like there was like
In 1854,
100-something
yeah,
sightings in a
after
few
5
years.
years, like in a
All of a
5-year
sudden.
time frame after 1854, North America, South America, or
Asia.
United States, Canada, like half of South America, Belgium, Germany, or West Germany, Asia, like all these places, like all of a sudden found dinosaurs. But what about
the
Africa?
last 200 years.
No one found anything in Africa.
It's too hot.
They don't have dinosaurs in Africa because, you know why? Because paleontologists don't go to Africa because it's too hot.
I would feel bad though if dinosaurs weren't real and someone went to school to be a paleontologist. That's like your career is a joke essentially.
Ross.
You're now a waste. Like you have a fictional job.
Poor Ross.
And I don't think that, like, would it be cool to go around and dig up dirt and say, oh, look, I found a fossil?
I've done
Yes.
it. I've done it.
Universal Studios doesn't count.
Only in
We
a
went to
science
some
center you
kind
can
of
dig up fossils.
Yeah.
They're fake.
Yeah, all those fossils that you see at a dig site, quotations,
That's sad.
fake.
That was one of my favorite field trips.
Orlando Science Center.
I don't know. It was some kind of place. Me and my mom went. She was chaperoning.
Mosey has the most depicted Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Mosey is.
Overrated.
Mosey's a museum in Tampa, by the way. Guys.
I
So,
want to go there.
Mosey's my old
I've never been to
dog's
Mosey.
name.
You guys should go to the Orlando Science Center. That place is awesome.
you
I
know
had
where
a
I
pass
want
for a
to
couple
go?
years.
And then I'm going to get back on track. I want to go to the Holocaust Museum. But anyways,
Yeah, me too.
The what?
the
I've been
Holocaust
to the
Museum.
Holocaust
Oh,
Museum
yeah.
in New York.
But, yeah.
That'd be cool.
So,
I'd go.
It's really sad.
Oh,
I
yeah.
went to one in. Actually, I went to the Anne Frank Museum. I think it was the Anne Frank Museum.
I love the fact of dinosaurs, but I just don't think that they're real. And if you believe in Jesus, then you don't believe in dinosaurs.
Well,
What do you guys think?
You could convince me, but I've just always been.
I'm
told
easily
they're real,
convincible, so I'm probably gonna go with everybody's
Well, I mean,
story.
I love, like, I'm
I don't
reading
know
the
enough.
dinosaur.
I don't have enough factual evidence for me to really sway one way or the other.
I'm reading the second Jurassic Park book, The Lost World, and like they're like dinosaurs are real. This is what's happening, and I'm like, I love the book. It's really a great book, but I don't believe that dinosaurs are real.
yeah. No, now hearing that, no. I could see why they're
I mean,
not
I was
real.
kind of always on the fence because it always did cross my mind, like, if God made man, where did dinosaur play in that? So it has always crossed my mind, but I've never
Yeah.
really cared one way or the other.
Well, I just thought like when he made the creatures, he just made like the creatures were dinosaurs.
But
like
I don't
it
think-
didn't say like he made a
This is-
bird and then he made a snake and then he made a mouse. It just said he made creatures. So I was
And
like,
Adam and
maybe
Eve
he
weren't
made-
cavemen though.
Maybe.
They were just chilling and chilling.
It makes you think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I don't think dinosaurs are real, but Nessie's still real because Nessie.
Oh, stop. You said she was a dinosaur last
No, I
week.
did not.
You said she was from dinosaurs. That's
No.
how she lived so long.
Nope.
She's from dinosaurs. She was able to
That
hide.
never
means she was
said-
only born in the 1800s.
I never said dinosaur.
I'll have to look that up.
She's-
Dinosaur
If
came
you
up
look
in
it
the
up,
combo.
you look it up and you dig it out.
Nessie Nessie's only half reptilian, half mammal.
No.
She
Oh,
looks half bird.
Nessie
so-
is a monster. It says it in the name.
Oh man, so this is Monsters Inc.
I don't know what's happening right now.
All right, Allie, the Mandela effect.
Okay. So
Nelson Mandela.
I'm gonna try to stay
No?
Yes.
calm.
Nelson
because-
Mandela?
Yes.
Yes, that's where it birthed from that. Which don't make fun of me, but I don't know who Nelson Mandela is.
He was the president of South Africa. I think it was South Africa.
Good man.
Or like Nigeria or
Got
something.
arrested. Did some hard time for things he didn't do. Yeah.
When did he
So-
die?
So yeah, when did he die?
Hey.
A couple years ago.
Well, I'm saying like
Sigmund!
yes, Sigmund, go.
Do you remember how he died or where or when he died? See, we're kind of a younger generation for that. Anyways, and I'll explain where the Mandela part plays in, but I'm going to try to stay calm because when I found out about this, I got almost...
Hyperventilated.
Yes, because I was like, what is this world? Anyways, we'll get to it. So before I really get into... Okay, so let me kind of start to explain. So the Mandela Effect started in 2010, and basically it's like MandelaEffect.com, it's a website, and that's where I got most of my information, and a little bit off of BuzzFeed. That's it. Anyways, so the Mandela Effect is when a person has a clear personal memory of something that never happened in this reality. Many of the people that encounter these things that aren't really true, and I'll get to what that really means, they're unconnected people remember the same thing that never existed. The exact same details, however, our memories are different from like history books or magazines or anything that's really ever existed. So like, for an example, and I'll start with Nelson Mandela. I don't really know much about him. I didn't really write about him because I don't really care for that aspect of it, but there's a big debate, and I don't know which way it leans. A lot of people remember, I don't know which way it leans, remember Nelson Mandela dying in jail, but he didn't die in jail, and people say he did.
He didn't die in jail.
It's like, I don't know how true what you're saying is, but it's like one way or the other. So like, I'll give some other examples. That's where it started. So like, you know Oscar Mayer. So, and like to forewarn you guys, I don't believe in all of these. I think some of these can be like a misconception, but because people are remembering things two different ways. But do you know like the brand Oscar Mayer? Do you know how to spell it?
OSCARMAYER.
Well, a lot of people recall it being MEYER.
There's a
Like a
song
large... No, I totally agree, but there's like a large amount of people that remember being spelled with an E. Or like,
So
you know the song We Are the Champions? Do you know how it ends? You know like what the last line of it is?
I don't remember.
Well, a lot of people recall the last line of it being like, it goes like, we are the champions of the world. And apparently that's like never been a part of the song.
Yeah, I thought that.
You thought that's how it ended? And that's never ever been a part of the song. It's never ended that way. Another one is like, you know the Monopoly Man? Like, if you described him, how would you describe him?
Short guy, bald, little one glass thing.
One class.
He's never had a monocle. But people recall him. Just wait, it gets better.
Yeah.
He's never had a monocle. Never had a monocle. But people recall him having a monocle. And if you Google him, you'll never get an image of him with a monocle, ever. But you'll find, like outfits of people dressed up for Halloween as him with a monocle on.
Ace Ventura did it.
He's never had a monocle, though. So, like, I'm going to keep
Kayla's
going while
looking
you
it
look
up
it
right
up. I'm going to... remember the Bernstein Bears?
Yeah.
Dude, look at Kayla's, like, astonished.
But what is that he does? Or that's...
That's like saying
Oh,
what
okay,
people
I
think
see.
versus what he looks like. He has never had a monocle. Isn't that insane? I'm going to keep going. You remember the Bernstein Bears books from a kid? Do you remember how to spell it? Take your, like, best...
BERN Steam Burns.
Like,
STEIN.
STEIN.
It's never been EIN. It's Bernstein Bears.
AN?
And it's pronounced Bernstein. I'm just hoping a can of worms. It's always been pronounced Bernstein. And let me tell you something a little weird. I actually know somebody at work whose parents knew the authors of the book, and their last name was Bernstein. You will never find that book where it's, I remember being spelled Bernstein. I had tons of them. But here's the weird part. People that recall that, when they go back to look at it, it's Bernstein. See?
No.
Isn't this insane?
But why?
They don't know. They think it's like, okay, so the one
I
girl
had
who,
some of these books.
I did too.
That's
I always thought the
Bernstein.
mom was. You know,
Stop
she's
her
looking
blue
good.
dress. So,
Bro, it's a bear.
but the thing, stop
Hey.
it.
Oh
I know.
my
But the
gosh.
thing is, people are going back to look at their Monopoly boards and going back to look at their books, and they're saying something different than what. There's a large percent of people that remember it a different way.
I remember.
One theory is that like we're floating in between an alternate universe and we don't realize when we're going back and forth. That's why we've got alternate memories.
Well, is it kind of
I
like
got more examples though.
I've asked Kayla before just to mess with her head because I think it's funny. Have y'all ever just like looked at yourself in the mirror and it's like, whoa, like, am I
Notice
real
how
right
you're-
now?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, for
Or
sure.
I'll ask Kayla like, hey, what would you do if you woke up and this was all a dream?
Listen, I'll go through the rest of them in just a second, but these are the two biggest theories. Many people speculate that a parallel realities exist and that we have been sliding between them, but we don't know it. The other one is other people favor the idea that we're each enjoying holodeck experiences, possibly with some programming glitches which cause the memory rewire to be
Ooh,
wrong.
I don't like that.
So you're telling me that one of two things is going on
I
right
want to
now.
go through the examples
No.
So, one, there's a Flash, and he's creating a
quickly. Oh,
parallel
stop it. I'm not
universe.
kidding. I want to read the
And
rest of these.
two, we're Sims?
That's what people think.
Bro, we're
Logic
Sims.
called it and everybody.
Listen. Do you remember Curious George?
Yes.
No, it didn't.
Do you remember what he looks like? What he's a monkey. What does he look
He
like?
wears
He's
the
a monkey.
yellow.
No, he's just a monkey.
got a tail.
Yeah.
He's
Does he
never
have a
had a
tail?
tail.
Oh, I don't know.
He's never had a tail. What kind of monkey don't got a tail?
He does have
What
a
kind of monkey don't got a
tail.
tail? He does not have a tail. He's never had a tail. Like, she's gonna look it up. I'm gonna keep going. Curious George. Chick-fil-A. You know how to spell Chick-fil-A? I think I've asked you this guys once before. Spell Chick-fil-A without looking it up.
CHIC fillet.
Well, you said that.
No, it has a K.
Google it. I can't remember which
Type
one
it.
it is. I didn't think it had a K. It has
Does
a
it?
K. I called Chick-fil-A and asked. I thought it was CHIC dash FIL dash
Oh
A.
boy.
That's not bothering me because I thought.
Bro,
it was
I got so mad. I called Chick-fil-A, and I was like,
Take the
I
K
was
off.
like, how do you spell Chick-fil-A? They're like, C-H-I-C-K, and I'm like, no. Has it always been spelled that way? And they're like, yeah.
Has it?
So, okay, so do you remember Star Wars? There's a famous line Darth Vader says. He says, "Blank, I am your father." Do you know
Luke.
that? He
never said Luke?
He's never said, "Luke, I am your father." He says, "No, I am your father." He never said, "Luke, I am your father." But a lot of people, I mean, that's a common phrase.
This is
Luke.
really depressing.
Here we go. Keep going. There's another one that apparently, no, it's about C-3PO, but I didn't write it down. So, Kit Kat, hyphen or no hyphen?
Hyphen.
Nope, no hyphen. Never had a hyphen.
Break me off a piece of that. Dun, dun, dun. Andy.
Oh my gosh. Kit Kat has never had a hyphen. I'm going to keep going. So, you know Forrest Gump, he says,
Jenny.
what you know the famous line about a box of chocolates? How does that line go?
Life is like a box of chocolates. What?
Life
Mama
is
said.
Life was like a box of chocolates. Why would he say was?
My favorite line in Forrest Gump.
He says, my mama always said life was like a box of chocolates and his mom was dead.
But everybody remembers it as life is like. Why would she have said that though? That's like something after
Well,
the fact.
he's talking about what she said.
I'm just saying, a lot
Let's
of
talk
people
about
remember
how
that.
much of a savage Forrest Gump was real
Hold
quick.
on.
Stop getting off
Hold on.
topic.
So, you know Snow White where she says, blanky, blanky on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?
Never seen Snow White.
But do you know that phrase?
The what?
Mirror, mirror.
Oh yeah, mirror, mirror.
It's never been mirror, mirror. It's magic mirror on the wall. It has never been mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the face on the wall? It's magic mirror on the wall, but people are recalling it as mirror,
thought it
mirror
was- hey,
on the
bro.
wall.
You're ruining my
Mirror.
life.
Who
I
does
know.
it?
Hold on, I got more.
New number. Who does?
You remember Jiffy peanut butter?
Jiffy?
It's never
I mean
been Jiffy.
Jif.
It's
Jif. No, yeah.
A lot of people recall it being Jiffy. I remember
Really?
it being Jiffy when I was a kid.
I knew it was Jif.
Yeah,
Really?
I knew. I knew.
I
and
think
you know how to spell Fruit Loops?
OOT.
Oh, OT.
Yeah.
I remember it
LOOPs.
being fruit, like fruit.
No.
I think
But,
it's
like, this is just-
FROOT.
It is, but this is just like a very few examples. Like We Are the Champions of the World, the Bernstein Bears being the Bernstein Bears. That one messes with me so hard because I remember the cursive gold letters. Like,
Yeah.
Well, Sigmund is spelled SIGMEN, right? Instead of AN.
No.
stop
Nice
it,
try.
stop it, stop it. No, stop it. So, anyways, this is like a journal started by this lady. Her name is wow, I meant to write her name. I don't remember it. But 2 people started it, and they started calling it the Mandela Effect. So it is like a created thing that started in 2010. But like, there's a lot more. I just wrote down some of like the real like head turning ones. Like,
Yeah.
it messes with me hard, especially since I talked like when I first found out about it. It was like what, like 6 months ago, maybe a year ago now. Like, I talked to someone whose parents knew the people who wrote the books,
The Bernsteins.
and their last name was Bernstein.
Hmm.
So how do they explain
And he's
that?
like, he told me, he was like, no, actually, ironically, my parents, it's Bernstein. And I was like, I'm telling you, go home, look up the book, it's Bernstein.
Call,
And
call
like,
your
he
boy
was
up right
baffled.
Now. Call your boy up right now.
No, he's like 60.
No, I'm saying like he should call
Oh.
them up right now. Like, hey, bro,
I don't
listen.
know if they're still alive. His parents are. But,
R.I.P.
Isn't that
Uncle
insane?
Phil.
like, Kit Kat, like,
For real.
Luke, I Am Your Father. That's such a
That's
popular.
iconic.
There's another one about, what's that genie movie?
Oh, Shazam!
Shazam.
There's a Mandela effect that Shazam had his own genie movie.
I thought he
I
did.
don't
I mean, I don't know enough about that, but I remember that. I
It
never
was,
watched
No, not Shazam.
No, it is Shazam, isn't
No,
it?
Shazam is the
Shazam
name of the
was
movie with
Shaq.
Shaq. It's the one with.
You're talking about with Sinbad.
Yeah,
Sinbad, yeah.
Sinbad never had a genie movie.
Really?
Yeah, Sinbad never had a genie movie.
Wow.
I only knew that name because of the movie. I mean, I never watched it, but
Stay woke.
Yeah, stay woke.
if you get interested enough, like, go on to the website, and they've got just tons of them. Now, some of them, honestly, I think can be misconceptions.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, the Jiffy one, to me, I remember being Jiffy, but there's also Skippy peanut butter and Jif, so maybe
There's
I'm
also
having it
Jiffy
combined.
Lube.
Jiffy Lube.
Well,
Yeah.
that's not peanut butter. I'm thinking, because the first thing I said, I was like, Jiffy peanut butter, yeah, it's got the teal lid. Well, Skippy, or whatever that
Skippy has a teal
has a
lid.
teal lid, so then I must be mixing memories. Like, so,
Yeah.
do I think all of them are real? No. Do I think some of them are real? Absolutely, because they're some of my life experiences.
The only reason I know it's called Jif is because there was a kid that talked like he had peanut butter in his mouth, so we called him Jif Boy.
That's mean.
Yeah. It was funny though.
He was like,
You're a
that's
bully.
mean.
He was like, "Hey, what's up, Jif Boy?" And he was just,
Alright, Joe, boy.
"Don't call me that."
That is so mean.
No, it was like, it's just the way his voice sounded.
Stop.
It wasn't like,
excuses, like, it's just, I can't explain.
All right.
So, who's buying this Mandela effect?
Me.
Um,
But I don't like the definition of like why it's happening. 'Cause
Well, it's just a theory. People don't really know.
I don't know because I don't
lot
know if
of-
it's
I've
just
heard-
misconception or like,
I've heard the butterfly effect,
yeah.
where like someone has gone back and messed with something and slightly tweaked it, and now it's
Flash.
changed these things, and that explains why people remember it. But when they go back to look at the books they've owned their whole life, it's different.
I think me and Mike are
It's
on
the Flash.
So, are you buying it or no?
I don't think
like
so.
a-
I think it's just a bunch of like
think we're-
misconceptions.
I think we're both on the fence. It's kind of like
You
Yeah.
think
it
so?
could be
Because
real.
you were
Yeah,
on
no, I mean,
these
yeah.
for quite a few of them.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know.
I'm the same way. Like some of these, I'm like, whoa, that could be
Yeah.
legit, and then some of them, I'm like, No, I
I
don't.
just
There's
remembered
another one
that wrong.
about Sex in the City and Sex and the City. A lot of people say it's Sex in the City, but it's always been Sex and the City, and that's like one that I think could be a common.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you hear it,
But again, Curious George, the monocle on the Monopoly Man. There, if you Google the Monopoly Man costume, almost all of them have a monocle. Like people dressing up. Why would they just throw a monocle on it?
I feel you.
And how does everyone, like Bernstein and Bernstein, no one would have ever said Bernstein if it was Steen. That's not even close. Like,
it throws me off real bad.
Maybe it was just one of her southern people and said Bernstein instead of Bernstein.
No, because it's spelled stain.
yeah, why would anyone ever
It
pronounce
used to
it
be
Steen?
spelled
People from
steen.
North Carolina do anything they want.
Jake
You're
Wolf.
not from North Carolina and you thought it was Bernstein, so that doesn't
Well,
explain it.
maybe a North Carolinian came down and said, Bernstein Bear, you ever read that? And I was like, yeah, I guess.
Your daughter's like half
No,
North Carolinian.
fourth.
Whatever.
Pope counter take over.
Woo!
All right, New
Wait.
World Order.
Wait, hold on. Nobody told me. So
Oh,
you're
I
on the
told you,
fence.
I'm
You
on
gotta
the
pick a
fence.
side.
Then no.
You don't believe in it?
No.
No?
I don't think so. Like, I just think it's just a
Okay,
bunch
for
of
sure.
misconceptions. Like, you just remember things wrong, I guess.
Yeah, but like, how do you get like champions of the world?
And it-
That's,
and
like,
it
not
is-
even. That's not. That can't be a misconception.
And it is, like, really convincing because there's a lot of people that think the
That's
same
the
way.
that's the crazy thing is there's so many extreme cases of people remembering it very different. You should YouTube it. Anyways, okay, cool. So
New World Order.
New World Order.
Isn't there a book about this?
I like this kind
There's
of
a
stuff.
bunch of, there's a bunch of stuff. All right, so my favorite New World Order is, Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage,
Listen here,
Steve Nash, all them. But that's not the one we're talking about.
NWO.
Unfortunately, that's not the one we're talking about.
It's wrestling. Sorry, guys.
You guys don't know who Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage?
Continue, please.
They had a wrestling group called New
We
World
don't
Order.
we don't feel very
Please continue. Thank you.
All right.
entertained. Are you not entertained?
That was never said.
Mandela effect.
I was entertained.
just-
Are you not?
You just thought that was a famous line, and you actually came up with it by yourself.
Good job.
All right, so I think everybody knows what it is. It's like basically a bunch of people with a lot of money control everything that's going on with the world. Like, they probably made up the thing about dinosaurs. Like, hey, you want to make a bunch of money? Let's find these fossils, blah, blah, blah. Say they're from a huge lizard. With you and the chemtrails, let's find a way to poison people, get them under control, yada, yada, yada.
Take down the population number.
Yeah, Mandela effect. Let's mess with their heads a little bit.
This is a good one to wrap it up with.
Yeah. Like, there's been a lot of things talking about how, like, there's the TV brainwashes people.
Have you seen like that movie? Well, it's a show, Mr. Robot, where like Apple's like those the one really in control of the world and stuff.
Yeah.
Which they do like a knockoff Apple, but anyways.
Well, basically, I guess their ultimate goal is to, like, have one government. Like, New World Order. It's like every country is under one government. All the rules apply to everybody. Like, because you know how you can get away with things in different countries. Well, not this way. But my thing is, and I got quotes from two, like, notable people. Like, one was Felix Frankfurter. He was a Supreme Court justice. He said the real rulers in Washington are invisible and exercise power from behind the scenes. So basically, you have somebody that is in government basically calling out saying, hey, these public officials, they're basically just puppets. The people that are really doing it are behind the scenes. You don't know who it is.
That I already believe about each individual government as it is.
And this was from our 28th president, Woodrow Wilson. He said, some of the biggest men in the United States in the field of commerce and manufacturers are afraid of something. They know that there is a power somewhere so organized, so subtle, so watchful, so interlocked, so complete, so pervasive, that they had better not speak above their breath when they speak in condemnation of it. So, I mean, if you got the president, which, basically ever since, America got on top, they've been like the president's the leader of the free world. So, I mean, if he's saying that, then, I mean, you kind of got to know something's up.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't know what to think about it. I don't know if it is just people, trying to blame it on government. But if I had to pick who is behind it, it would have to be the Rothschilds, that whole family.
There.
Basically, their family goes back like 200 years. And they lowballed it. Their family net worth is $500 trillion. And that's just lowballing it. That's just like a low estimation of what they're actually worth. But this guy, you ever heard of central bank?
Not particularly.
Okay, well, it's a bank, and he controls these banks. In the year 2000, Afghanistan, Iraq, Sudan, Libya, Cuba, and North Korea and Iran, they were the only countries in the world without central bank. So, after 2000, what happened the next year? 9/11, right? Okay, so Sudan, Libya, Cuba, North Korea, Iran, in 2003 were the only countries left without the central bank. So what countries?
Can I ask you a question of what ethnicity or denomination are these people?
Well, Rothschild's American.
Okay.
No, they started off in Europe. So in 2003, after 2001, when the World Trade Centers happened, right? What countries are missing off that list? Iraq and Afghanistan. The countries that we invaded after 9/11. Now they have central banks. Okay.
So are we saying that those people are causing problems because they don't have a central bank? Like, what is the motive here?
Since they don't have central banks, because if you don't have a central bank there, he can't control it. He can't control that country because his money's not there.
Right.
So they think that he was behind the 9/11 bombings, like Rothschild. So I think his first name's Henry. So they have reason to believe that he's the one that set up 9/11, saying, let's blame it on Afghanistan, Iraq. We'll go invade them. When we take over, we'll put central bank there. Now I control.
These are the only places that did not want central banks. So he wanted to get in there to control it. So that's why he made that happen, to make it look so they could invade there. And now,
yep.
Okay, I thought you were saying that these people were against central bank. I get it.
So now you go to 2003. Now the ones that don't have it, central bank, is Sudan, Libya, Cuba, North Korea, and Iran. Okay. After years go by, 2011. Now only Cuba, North Korea, and Iran are the only three left that does not have central bank. Now what happened between those years?
Cuba.
Well, Cuba's still on the list. They don't have it.
Oh.
So what happened between 2003 and 11? Gaddafi died, right?
Yep.
What was he in control of? Libya. Sudan. They went in there, made him look like the bad guy, which he probably was a bad guy. But he did have things that were good for his country. But the reasoning behind this with the Rothschilds is that they control the media and everything. So they try to play it off like Gaddafi was such a bad guy, let's go and intervene. Let's take over, let's make them a democracy. So now since they took over that, now those two countries have central bank. All right, so these three countries still don't have it. To this day, they don't have it. What are they doing in North Korea right now? I mean, I'm sure, let's be honest, Kim Jong-un's probably a bad guy. But what are they doing? They're trying to make him look like a horrible person right now.
Yeah.
What are they doing in Iran? They're saying that they have the huge nuclear missiles. And then Cuba, after
Cuba's
years,
Cuba's
and
next.
years, we're opening relations with them again.
So I'm saying Cuba will be next.
So we can put central bank in there. So basically, he's going to have control of the whole world, money-wise. He's already got control of the media. And now he's fixing basically have all the money in the world. So I don't know if I had to pick who is behind the New World Order, I would have to pick the Rothschilds. But there has been like his family and the Rockefellers. It's both of them because they're like the wealthiest families. So I think that they're behind it. I also think a couple of years ago, Rothschild is the one that funded those electronic voting machines. So you know how people say whenever you click one name, it goes to another?
I've never heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's been cases where on the electronic voting machines, they'll push who they want to vote for, and it'll vote for the other person. But he's the one funding all that. And his family has had history of funding wars. Like, they'll fund both sides so they can't lose either way. So, and that's scary that his family's worth $500 trillion already. And he's only got 3 more countries to go through.
That's crazy.
So then he will have... I mean, unfortunately, right now, money for, us, just humans, money is power. And unfortunately, in the world, when it comes to that sort of stuff. So basically, he owns the world.
His name is Jacob.
Rothschild.
One of the Rothschilds, either it was one of the Rothschilds or one of the Rockefellers just died.
Yeah, that was a... Yeah.
Which one do you know?
I forget.
I've never even heard of.
One of the
Is it
Rothschilds.
Ross or Roth?
Roth.
Oh,
Rothschild.
you were saying Ross.
Roths with like
TH.
ROTHS child.
Now that's scary, ain't it? And it all kind of ties together with the chemtrails and the Mandela effect, messing with, people's minds. The same thing with TV, trying to, when they say that they try to manipulate your brain with the TVs. And with yours, the dinosaurs, let's make money making this thing up.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that all conspiracy theories kind of stem from this New World Order. And, yeah. It's kind of scary when you think about it. I've left everybody speechless.
I just never heard.
Everybody's woke today.
I don't know.
I've never heard of
I
any of
believe
it.
in the New World Order bit. I don't know anything about this family.
I mean,
I don't know if I agree with everything because I have my own theories on 9/11. But I don't see them personally implementing all these things, but I could see them picking up on them and start funding them.
What with our beliefs?
You know what I'm saying?
All 4 of us, we have the same beliefs. Like, we're all Christians. I mean, you kind of have to believe in a New World Order. I mean, that kind of that signals the end of times.
Right.
But I guess the whole conspiracy theory is, like, who is behind it? Like, who's the one doing it? And I kind of have reason to believe it's the Rothschild family. So, with that being said, do you guys think that it's a family? Do you guys think it's just the world taking its course? Or
I honestly have no idea. I wish I could tell you.
I don't know because I'm almost flirted with the idea of several almost diplomats, not appointed diplomats, but self-appointed diplomats through several countries that kind of.
Well, no, and you see it. That's the most common thing. Is it's not just Rothschild. That supposedly that's the whole.
He's just a funder.
That he's just a funder,
He's just a
and he just
funder.
happens to be probably the most powerful funder. but there's been things saying that that's what the United Nations is for, secretly. You know,
There's
you got
obviously
all the
some sort of
countries
greater
together.
power because a lot of things go missing.
Mhm.
I've watched a lot of the 9/11 documents. I'm just using that one for example, where pieces that are supposed to be protected and guarded go missing. We don't have this. This has gone missing. Like, first of all, you
Gosh.
know, information is leaking onto the internet via like WikiLeaks and stuff that is like supposed to be top secret. So like somebody out there has got control of some aspect that has the ability to leak things that shouldn't be leaked or hold things back that shouldn't be held, like that should be common knowledge. So I do think there is some power of people, families, whatever, that have the ability to pull strings and things like that.
And you see, that's
That
where I
makes
get
sense.
confused, because it's like with people saying that it's Freemasons or Illuminati, I kind of just think that's a front for the whole thing, because how would we know if they got that much money? We wouldn't know about it.
The thing is, they could
I
call
mean,
it Illuminati.
let's put it
It's
on
just
a
a front.
smaller scale.
Yeah.
These people have trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. I'm just putting this on a smaller scale. There's somebody who works for the government who's like, this is just a short version of it. I don't know all the details, but there's a man who works for the government who works in some narcotic unit, and his daughter just got busted, like heavy moving drugs. And it was like a $36,000 bond. He walked in and she was let off. No case, no nothing. So if that happens on a small scale, I can only imagine what happens when you're talking billions, trillions of dollars to companies and to countries that are in severe debt.
Well, with the whole, like, when I was talking about New World Order, like, with everybody being under the same government, a lot of people think FEMA has something to do with it, too. FEMA, because
that's another one.
there's been, like, people
I fully
that
believe in the
think
FEMA stuff.
that there are FEMA concentration
What is-
camps.
There are.
What is
Yeah, see,
There are.
yeah.
FEMA is a group of people that are supposed to act over top of the government in an emergency standard. Basically, every law of the government would be pushed aside, and everything that FEMA says.
It's like
goes.
federal emergency
like-
medical assistance.
It's like the top of
Something
the
like
top, like in a apocalyptic scenario.
So
And
basically,
there's
everything
these
they
things
say
that are
we
called
listen.
FEMA camps, and this is just one thing that they can do, like or that they have are these camps. Supposedly, you can find them on Google Maps, you know, if you really wanted to see them satellite images. But they're camps that are stacked with thousands and thousands of like coffins, like plastic bin coffins. Like FEMA can come in, they don't abide by the law, they can shoot you in the head, they can kill thousands of people. Nobody can do anything about it
And
because they're above the government. Like they're a real group. It's not like it's their motives that people debate on, but they're like a real group, and the camps are a real thing, and that has a lot to be connected with the chemtrails too. If you go back through that rabbit hole, but I totally believe in FEMA, and they are not good. I do not think they are good.
And that's the thing, like, they play like they are. Kind of like the United
yeah,
Nations.
Oh yeah, they play like in an emergency. It's supposed to be a good thing because the government won't be able to institute things anymore. Like, no.
Yeah.
No. The fact that they could come through at any point, knock out our Constitution, and come over everybody's... I mean, they could do anything to anyone, anybody, anywhere, and nothing. They're like the all-power.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they can come right above our Constitution.
Yep.
In an emergency.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's scary.
To me, the scariest the FEMA concentration camps that have thousands and thousands of coffins. Like, what do you need those for?
Yeah.
What is your intent? Are you stocking up on them for what?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's another podcast.
That's scary.
Scary.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where my conspiracy theory trail started with chemtrails and led me into FEMA.
So,
And FEMA is some scary stuff.
so let's just say, do you guys believe that the Rothschilds not necessarily are leading it, but do you guys think that they are funding the New World Order?
It makes sense that why they would be funding it.
I'm undecided because I don't know anything about this
But
family.
that's the only thing is I don't know
research.
anything about it.
I'd have to
What do
look
you
into
think?
it.
That makes sense, like they said. I mean,
I think there's somebody with a lot of money
I
funding
just
something.
think that it's
don't
crazy
know.
how they own the central bank, and 9/11 happens. Mark
Yeah,
two
that's
countries
definitely
off.
interesting.
They got 2 banks in there now.
But I'm also very cautious about what the internet tells me too.
but it's also like you
Donald
have
Trump would say
so
fake
much
news.
money. Why do you like?
It's huge. It's a lot of money. Huge.
Why do you
aspires to be
need?
a Rothschild.
Why do you need so much money? And because like it can
Money
only
is
get
the root of all evil.
he like sell his soul or something. Like it's
Yeah, that's-
like it's pure evil.
Yeah, well, that's a part of it.
You know who the real bad guy is. Satan's the one doing all this.
Yeah.
Way to go, Satan. Way to ruin Earth. Thanks. Appreciate
Did I
it.
ever show you guys that video of Donald Trump in the accordion? No, see, it wasn't there. It was Corey Cameron. I gotta show them after this. It's hilarious.
I already
Sorry.
know where it's going.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
His hands.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, it's hilarious. It's ridiculous. Yeah, there's
So dinosaurs win?
no.
What?
His theory controls all of our theories. He wins for sure.
I don't know, man.
He wins for sure.
No, because all of you.
Oh.
No, this
No,
is.
I
see,
will.
he's so aggressive.
No,
if
I'm
it's
just saying.
not, if it's not his way, it's completely
I'm just saying.
it's
I
wrong.
have to preach my case. The only reason why I'm saying this is because all three of you are like.
I want y'all to vote. I want you to tell me whose theory
Yeah.
is like the illest.
But-
All I gotta say is, my theory is your theory's daddy.
Right.
Oh, kind of like
Two
Poops in
things.
the Far.
Two things on that.
Daddy's in
You
the
just came up with the theory.
Huh?
And two, I said you just came up with this theory. And
What do you
two,
mean I just came up with this?
never mind.
He's saying like you just looked it up today.
No. I've
You were
been
gonna
known
do
about
Tupac. Stop
this. No,
lying.
I was, but I've been known
he,
about this.
He's into this.
Yeah.
Like,
And two,
he's really into it.
two.
No,
You know,
one.
you know,
Because
he,
one
you
was
don't ever
false.
come with the facts.
Two.
He never comes with the facts.
And two, all three of y'all were like, dinosaurs? Wow, this is gonna be dumb. He's gonna call
Like
this dumb stuff.
dinosaurs.
And then all three of you,
Dinosaurs, New World Order. I
All
don't give a
three-
damn about dinosaurs.
all three of you were like,
There's a New World Order on its way.
Listen, we don't have to worry about dinosaurs anymore. We gotta
Right.
worry about New World Order.
We never had to worry about dinosaurs, right?
Well, you don't know because somebody could make Jurassic Park.
I'm sorry. Majority rules in our
That's fine. No,
our
like,
Four
I
Pieces in
agree.
a Podcast family.
New World
I vote
Order
for
makes
Ken.
sense.
Everyone that votes for dinosaurs, raise your hand. Everyone that votes for Mandela effect, raise your hand.
Oh no!
Oh, no, you can't take back.
No, yeah,
No, take
yes,
back.
take backs. Okay, Mandela
Everyone
effect.
that agreed, like as the top, like the most shocking, like mind bending, chemtrails. Because I agree with chemtrails, Mandela. I agree with all of them for the most part, to be honest. Everyone that's in on Caleb's being like the highlighter.
Oh look, 3-1, kind of like the Cavs and the Warriors last year. What?
No, okay, that's fine. High five myself.
There you go. Good game. Oh, what a poor
Oh,
sport.
you are a poor
No, I'm just
sport.
kidding, dude, I got you.
I want to hear from you guys on what you think is the best one. I honestly, yours is seriously like the daddy of them all. Like, to be honest, like,
Just call me dad.
there's something sketchy about
That's
all of these.
weird.
There's a bit of truth to every single
That's
thing we
weird.
talked about tonight. So,
Everybody, I'm Big Daddy now.
I mean, you are about to be a dad because
That's
Marin's
true.
coming tonight. But that's another.
Yeah, let's.
I mean, for you guys, it may be your tonight, but tonight for us is Wednesday night. So.
By the time you guys hear this, let's see. What's
Between now and
today?
the time, guys.
How many days until Monday?
Right.
Thursday, Friday,
Too late.
Saturday, Sunday, 4 days, 5 days.
Marin
4 or
will be
5
5 days old. By the time you guys
Should you start pushing
hear
now?
this,
Is she right there?
Yeah.
flex your
Woo! She's
flex.
Flex your baby.
Anyways.
Alright, guys.
So, if for some reason we are missing next week, by the time you guys see this, it will be Monday. We actually film this backwards on Wednesdays. So, if for some reason you don't get a video, not this coming Monday that you're on right now, that was weird. But the next Monday, that is because Marin is born, so we're really excited about that. So, we may be missing for a week or two. Or
Yes.
maybe you might see half of us or
Something.
whatever.
And then you'll see her.
And then you'll see Marin. We'll have
Or
5
maybe
pieces
Mike
of
will do it
podcast.
by himself so he can win one.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Yes.
Everybody who votes for Mike,
Look at that.
Majority
Look at that.
rules.
and
Majority
then
rules.
everybody who votes for something else, and then I would love if Dash and Rage just barked. And so it's 2-1. You lose.
I think
Still lose.
Eugene would be against you because he's sassy
Yes. Oh
and
my
he
gosh.
talks back to you.
He'd be like,
Does.
So,
all right.
yeah,
that was a
this-
good one.
This is a good one. I liked it. And we are 4 Peas in a Podcast. I'm Allison.
I'm like,
Shall we?
Kayla.
Caleb.
see you guys.
Marin.
Marin.
Oh.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.